G'day guys and welcome. So because we've got the free fly coming up, I figured I'd just quickly run through how to start up, taxi, take off and land the 190A8. Some Chuck's guides are invaluable. If you are getting into the warbirds in DCS, 100% read Chuck's guides. However, there's not a lot of videos on YouTube about these planes. It actually took me when I wanted to get into these. I went to YouTube, and there was nothing there. So all I had was Chuck's guides, and I think Crash Liobe has a video, but there's some things that you don't need to do that Crash basically says you need to do, but you don't need to do it. So I'm just going to do a quick run through on how to start up, taxi, and take off and land in the 190A8. Alright, so here we are in the cockpit. This is going to be a no bullshit tutorial as well. I don't know any of the meanings behind any of these, except that you need to turn them all on. All these circuit breakers. I don't know what they do. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest, either. And if you're just getting into the plane and you just want to try, give it a go, neither should you. We just want to start the thing and get going. So, first three, skip the fourth one. That's your external lights. You don't really need those. Turn them all on. Don't know what they do. I don't care. The only two that I do know what they do, and the only two you need to do here on this panel, is your fuel pumps forward and fuel pumps aft. Make sure those two are on. I think they're fuel pumps. One of the two. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Turn them on. Those two on. These three on. And all of these, except for the last one. Leave the last one off. Oxygen on. Magnetos to M2 and open the fuel. Set your engine, what's it called again? Your prop pitch, that's the word. Set your prop pitch to 12 o'clock position. This is your prop pitch gauge. Set it to 12 o'clock. We're going to use that for takeoff and landing and taxiing. So whenever you're near an airfield, you want it in prop pitch 12 o'clock position. Any other time, keep it in auto. Right Alt and Home to take the throttle out of detent. Prime the fuel, say 10 times. Starter motor, flick the cover open. Hold it down. You will then begin to hear the inertial flywheel spin up. Hold it down for about 15-20 seconds. That seems about enough. And right click. So that was left click and right click pull to start the engine. Hold it at 1500 RPM for a quick warm up. This is your temperature gauge for the engine. Want to get that between that stick and that stick. That's your gauge. That's your optimal operating temperature. So you want to get it around about 40 degrees centigrade before it's ready to go. Check your trim. Make sure that is centered. And bring your flaps into the middle position. So we've got up, take off, landing. Is essentially what those three mean. And that's it. That's the aircraft ready to go. Oh, and uncage your attitude ADI. It's your ADI. Couple of controls that you'll want. So for example, for the engine RPM, you want your engine up. I have bound this to my my thrust muzzle Warthog's communication switch on the throttle. So RPM decrease and increase, which is page up or page down, and then governor automation toggle. I have that as the press button on that hat switch as well. Those three ones are really key. I highly recommend getting them bound to whatever stick you have. Left Control C, hold that down, brings the canopy forward. I'm going to lower the brightness of the gun sight for this, and we're ready to go, basically. Alright, so taxiing in the 190A8 is really simple. Stick all the way back, locks the tail wheel. That's all there is to it. When you're taxiing, you don't need much at all to get the aircraft rolling in the direction you want. Slight taps of the toe brakes are enough. You don't have to put full force onto them. Just like maybe 10% on will get the aircraft going in the direction you want. Be very gentle with the throttle. You don't need to have a lot of power to get moving while you're on the ground. And just be patient. Just be really patient. It's really easy to get caught up in it all and want to get to the runway as soon as you can. But just be patient, otherwise you'll ruin it all, basically. So I'm going to bring the toe brakes off. And I'm going to bring the stick forward a little bit just so I can start pointing the aircraft where I want to go. Once I'm in the direction that I want to go, stick back, and you've locked the tail wheel. Here is the runway. Balancing out my turn with opposite toe brake. I'm actually going to come to a stop. We are sort of lined up, so we're just going to go a little bit more forward and locking the tail wheel straight. Alright, so now we're ready to go. Prop pitch is at the 12 o'clock position. Accelerate your engine to 1.2 units of manifold pressure, which is the top right gauge there, just above your RPM gauge. And release toe brakes and stick some right rudder in. You don't need to do anything with the stick, just the rudder to keep yourself tracking down the runway. Increase it again to 1.4 at 120 kilometers an hour. Push the stick forward, and then right about 200, lift off. Gear up, flaps up, you're in the air. It's actually really simple. For the longest time, I personally was struggling with it because I figured, that you needed to hold the stick right to the right a little bit. No. All the way back, right rudder in, keep it tracking down the runway, and push it forward once you're ready. Alright, so now we're going to be tracking back down the downwind here. For landing, again, keep your prop pitch at the 12 o'clock position. And we want to get down to about 300 k's an hour before we start doing anything to our flaps. So, generally speaking, from what I've read, 300 k's an hour, bring your flaps down, and then when you hit 250, you can bring your landing gear down. Keep your speed up above 200, but while you're still lining yourself up on the runway. Just keeping yourself slightly offset so you can keep it in sight. turning the throttle back, and while pointing the nose almost directly at the ground. Reducing speed even more. Not the best example, but with practice you can get really, really good at it. So about 150 k's, 160 k's an hour is your touchdown speed. I've overrun the runway a little bit because I wasn't paying attention, because I was trying to think of what next to say, but you get the idea. This works. I haven't done a really good landing here, but with practice, that's what you can do to get good at it. And it doesn't take much as well. It's understanding, not so much understanding, just a lot of practice. And it's not as scary as you think it is. So that is a basic guide to takeoff, landing, starting the Fw190A8.